Thank you, Paulette. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, please stand and join us in our opening song, Rain Down.
Open your mind, open your mind, be ready to receive. God has got you in mind. Open your ears, let the change in your life. It's your time to prosper, there's no need for strife. Do you know what it takes? Do you know what God needs? You got to be willing to give if you want to receive. Love, peace, rain down. Health, joy, rain down. Love, abundance, rain down, rain down. Love, peace, rain down. Health, joy, rain down. Love, abundance, rain down, rain down. Rain down. Open your heart, that God's power is found in mighty and precious mercy. Awaken your soul, feel the change in your life. God's love is yours, there's no need for strife. Do you know what it takes? Do you know what God needs? You got to be willing to give if you want to receive. Love, peace, rain down. Health, joy, rain down. Love, abundance, rain down, rain down. Love, peace, rain down. Health, joy, rain down. Love, abundance, rain down, rain down, rain down.
I think I'm going to stand up here. Why not? I can see you better. Okay, before we sing our next song, let us stand and do the Christ greeting. That is the Christ in me. I knew that was going to happen. Christ in me greets the Christ in you, because we each have a bit of Christ in us. Let's do Christ.
Christ in me, please Christ in me.
Greets the Christ. And now, let's sing More Than Enough.
I'm going to play through this because it's been a while since we've done There is more than enough in the universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I grieve? Why would I doubt? Why would I think without your infinite love made me? Everything I see, all that will ever be is your infinite love. Then also know the truth, whether I choose to do. Infinite love will prove more than enough. There is more than enough in the universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would we? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I could without? Infinite love made me, made everything I see. All I will ever need to infinite love. And also know the truth, whatever I choose to do. Infinite love will prove more than enough.
Thank you. You may be seated. So we are going to start a series. It's called the Unity Minute, and it's going to be more than a minute, maybe 3 or 4. And what we're going to talk about is some very basic Unity teachings, some of the underpinnings of what Unity is, and it's only going to be in small increments, so you can take them home with you, you can think about them during the week. Can I be turned up just a little bit more? Yeah. Thank you. And so, there we go, thank you, wonderful. As you know, Unity was founded back in 1989. And it took until 1989 when Unity asked the great-granddaughter of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, whose name is Connie Fillmore, thank you, Connie Fillmore. Unity asked her to distill the Unity ideals. And she came up with the 5 principles. You can have that. There we go. And I don't expect you to read all of these right now. We're going to take them one by one over the next 5 weeks. The first unity principle is God is everywhere and always present in every circumstance. The divine energy underlies and animates all of existence. Basically, God is all there is. God is. Period. Bob Withrow, who is a licensed Unity teacher of Unity Hills in Austin, had this to say about the 5 principles. Unity principles are like the principle of aerodynamics. It applies to every one of us, whether we choose to believe it or not. And so we're going to be going through them. The aerodynamics, another point is that the aerodynamics principle has been around since there have been birds. Lift and drag, they fly. It can happen. But it's only in the last 100 years or so that we've mastered aerodynamics. And I think this is where we are now. We are mastering the unity principles. And we are going to create such a future, such an open, beautiful, enlightened future by knowing these principles and applying them to our everyday lives. Charles Fillmore had this to say: God is not a person who has set creation in motion and gone away and left it to run down like a clock. God is spirit, infinite mind, and immanent force, and intelligent, everywhere manifest. God is not separate from us. God is all that is. And as you know from my near-death experience, where I was gifted the chance to see the web of life, to see how we are all so intricately and intimately joined with God. And sometimes we forget. But this first principle is here to remind you. So let's just take a minute and reflect on that, just for a minute. And next week we'll go into the second, which is human beings are divine at their core and therefore inherently good. And I would say human beings are part of God. And we'll go into that and we'll talk about the Christ salute. Christ salute. We don't call it the Christ salute, do we? Christ greeting. I came from a Navy captain. So thank you. Unity Minute, painless. The most fundamental and basic belief of unity. God is everywhere and everything. Okay, now let's stand and sing our next song, which is There is Sunshine in My Soul Today.
There is sunshine in my soul today. It is glorious and bright, ever glowing with the morning ray. For Jesus is my light. Sunshine, blessed sunshine, blessed peaceful, happy moments roll. For I behold the blessed face, each sunshine in my soul. today. I know that love is days. Our love shines bursting in my heart. The joys of grace are here. The sunshine, as the sunshine, as the peaceful, happy moments roll. For I behold the Christ in every place, and there's sunshine in my soul.
Okay, you may be seated. We're going to now move into prayers and celebrations. So if there's somebody in your life or a situation in your life that you need to hold in your heart, and let's just see the situation working out for the absolute good. If there is a person you'd like to hold in your heart, see that person as rising to the divine Christ that is within them. And if you have celebrations, let's see those magnified. And let us say together, as we center ourselves in the one presence and one power, we realize that our thoughts have the power to heal and bless. We send them out now, carrying love, peace, joy, and life to situations and celebrations that we hold in our hearts. Thought by thought and prayer by prayer, we transform the world. Amen.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I hope 2025 is started out to be a wonderful year for all of you. And of course, I think you all know that tomorrow is Martin Luther King's birthday. And he is a man that I greatly admired and held in high esteem. And I'm still saddened that he's not with us today. But I thought you all might like to hear some of his quotations since we are celebrating his birthday. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Another one. If you can't fly, then run. And if you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, then crawl. Whatever you can do, keep moving forward. Good inspirational thought. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in times of comfort and convenience. It's where he stands at the time of challenge and controversy. And then probably his most famous quotation that he did while he was at the Lincoln Memorial and speaking to over 100,000 people around the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial. I have a dream. The dream is that my little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but rather by the content of their character. How wonderful. What a wonderful thought. And we are moving in those directions. Little by little, not as fast as most of us would like, but we are moving in those directions. So I thought you might enjoy that. And today's daily word is, the theme is inspired, and the affirmation is, My words and actions inspire others. Can we say that together? My words and actions inspire others. Today I reflect on the clear vision, the powerful words, and the courageous actions of leaders such as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I appreciate how one person's example can inspire so many others to move beyond thoughts of limitation and focus on the possibilities for good that are always present. Inspiration can be thought of as the breath of God. I like that line. I want to read that again. Inspiration can be thought of as the breath of God. I, like all people, am made in the image and likeness of the divine. I give thanks for people I have known whose vibrant faith and love, even in the most challenging of circumstances, have inspired me. Guided by my divine gifts of imagination and zeal, I join with those building a world where each person lives freely and with joy. And from the book of Genesis, then the Lord formed a man from the dust of the ground, and he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. Wonderful thoughts. So now it is both my privilege and my honor to introduce for the first time our new spiritual leader for Unity Williamsburg Fellowship Church. I know that virtually all of us are familiar with Candace. She's led seminars. She does the spring and fall solstice with Denise Creech. She sings, she plays the guitar. She's a wonderful speaker, and we are blessed to have her. And I think I can speak for virtually everyone when we welcome you to Unity Williamsburg, and we hope you find this your home and that you'll be with us for many, many years to come.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to listen.
I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous because there's a lot to do. There's a whole lot more that the spiritual leader does other than just speak. And we're working some things out. We're doing some things that are a little different, maybe wake us up somewhat. But that being said, I've been working very hard, night and day, with the board. We've been brainstorming ways to increase interest in Unity Williamsburg. And we think we've found a solution. We have developed a series of products that will be interesting to the general public and us, that many people would find irresistible. So what is this product? What are these products? Well, we've got one to make you physically stronger. We have one to make your brain sharper. See where I'm going with this? We're gonna bring people in. We have a product that will make people less depressed, more happy. We have developed a product that lessens diabetes and heart disease. That's the big one for me. Not that I have either one, but I do not want to have them. And finally, the product that makes healing go faster. Physical healing. is faster. Pretty impressive lineup of products. Everybody's going to be wanting them. I would like to say we'll make a fortune. We'll see. But if we could just get people to come in, that'd be even better. So what are these miracle products? Well, let me tell you a little bit about the research that we did before we developed the products. There is a study being done by Harvard University. It's been going on since 1938. At that time, they picked two groups of men, and remember this is 1938 and it's Harvard. So they picked two groups of men. One group were undergrads at Harvard, fairly affluent people, and they picked another group of boys from, let me get this right, from Boston's poorest neighborhoods. Most lived in tenements with no running water. That's how poor they were. So you have the extreme spectrums of mankind at that time. They have studied them for 80 years, going back yearly to ask new questions, to find out their emotional health. They had doctors doing the medical exams. They had psychologists doing the mental exams. And they did a lot of life questions. Are you married? Do you have children? What are your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing? And this has been going on for 20 years. I have to say that as humankind progressed, the study also progressed, and they eventually included the wives and the children of these men. They were asked, all the participants were asked at the beginning, what do you think makes a successful life? What are you going to be striving for in your life? And the answers were very clear and almost unanimous. Money, fame, and working harder. Now remember, this is 1938. It's not working less is more kind of thing. It's working harder. So money, fame, working harder. But they've been asking these questions throughout these people's lives. And they've seen it change dramatically as people get older. What, hands down, became the most important thing to people were good relationships. And it's been proven statistically, partially from this study, that if you have good relationships, you are going to be physically stronger. Your brain will be sharper. You will have less depression. You will have less diabetes, less heart disease, and you will recover from illness faster. So the underpinning of all of this is good relationships. So let's talk about what good relationships are. I think we all know in our gut, in our heart, what a good relationship is. It's something that is warm and friendly, where you can be yourself, and that's very important. You can be yourself. You have a relationship with someone who is there for you. Someone you know who, if you needed to call them in the middle of the night, they would take the call. And someone who is there for you physically, if you need help with something, if you want to talk something out. Those are the 3 points of a good relationship that they found. And speaking of Martin Luther King Jr., he had what he called a beloved community. when he was organizing people to do the marches. He formed beloved communities in the areas, and those beloved communities had to be inclusive. They had to have all differences embraced, it's loving, and that the love of God is operating in the human spirit of the people of the beloved community. Now, you may be thinking, okay, that's fine for extroverts. We can go out and find people that will be friends with us, that will support us, and that we can be friends and support as well. What about introverts? The study found, because they had, oh, I didn't tell you this, they studied 724 men when they started the study. It is now up to 2,000 people that they're studying. So it's a pretty large population they're growing from. What they found is that introverts, although they may not be joiners, they too can live a healthy, happy, long life. But also keep in mind that introverts can be exhausted by being around a lot of people. But they found that if that introvert can have even one or two close relationships, they will benefit from that relationship just as much as the extrovert with maybe many relationships. Also they found, and I thought this was very interesting, they found out that close relationships don't have to be smooth. They found that some of the strongest relationships, and this surprisingly, and I still can't get this in my head, are the ones that bicker all the time. As long as the bickering ends at the end of the day and you know that that person is there for you. There's something about bickering, not that I'm saying that you should start that, but if you have a relationship like that, know that it is something that can protect you from a lot of life's challenges. So now we know what a good relationship is. How can we nurture good relationships? Physical fitness is a practice. You don't just go to the gym once and say, hey, I'm physically fit. You go to the gym, or you work out, or you get your steps. Over time, maybe you once a week, maybe you do this once a week, once a month, but you do it many times. So physical fitness is a symbol for the way we should approach social fitness. Come back to it time and time again with your friends, with your friend. Make an appointment to see that person, if you can, on a regular basis. Connect with others around shared interests. And I think this is what is going to serve us well. And you need to liven up the relationship periodically. You know, if you're always meeting at the same coffee shop, try a different coffee shop. Meet at night and have a wine or something. Liven it up, just like you would any other close friendship. And finally, 60 of the 724 men are still alive, over 80 years later. They found that positive social connections are the biggest factor in living a long, healthy life. It is not your cholesterol count. It is not your BMI account. It is your social connection count. Loneliness On the opposite, loneliness shortens lives, negatively affects mental sharpness, increases your chances of diabetes and heart disease, and depression, and recovery from illness takes longer. We would not wish that on anybody. So what are these products? What are these miracle products that we can offer ourselves and the community? I think you've already guessed it. Us, Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center. We can offer unique workshops, meditations, all of the things that we're doing now and more. It will help us, and if we can get people to come in from outside of this church, it can affect them as well, positively. So what do I see as our way forward? What do I see our Unity community bringing to the table? What are some of the things? We'll continue to offer workshops and events, special events. We'll expand into classes and groups that will meet for specific treatments if you're science of mind. And also groups that we haven't even imagined yet. I think we're going to be putting on our thinking hats, saying, hey, I would really like to do this, or I would like to study this. Great. Let us know. I'm sure we've come up with some ideas, but there's so many here that have wonderful ideas and are so creative. More than willing to listen and hopefully engage. Duncan and Ingrid's hope, imagination, and remaking the world was such a big success and was so deep and so eye-opening for just about everybody that attended. He and Ingrid have asked to do a workshop, or I don't know, classes, I guess you would say, 4 of them throughout the year on different spiritual topics. And so I think we're going to pursue those. In the spring, I'm going to offer a Shinrin Yoku walk, and that is forest bathing. We'll find a trail nearby that's easy, that's paved, that you won't have trouble walking, won't have to be long, but just to get out in nature and connect with nature and notice what you're noticing. It's a practice, it's a 7-step practice. It's fairly simple, but you come away from that and you are refreshed. We also may do what's called morning altars, which is a meditative practice that you make art objects, mandalas with found objects outside, and they're beautiful, and it's a meditative practice because you're gathering these objects and then you're making them into a design, and as you make it into a design, things start coming to you. Realizations start coming to you. It's like your brain and your heart start working together. Crafting Saturdays was a huge hit, so we're looking forward to more of those. We'll continue to feature our abundant amount and amazing guest speakers. I am so thankful and privileged for all of the wonderful speakers we've got that maybe bring a little different viewpoint, but it gets you thinking. So we'll continue to do that. And we'll also offer things that aren't available elsewhere, that would be unexpected, that people from the community would be interested in. We're thinking of maybe, no, I don't want to go into that. So we're going to have a suggestion box. We don't have one right now, but we're going to have a suggestion box. So if you have any ideas of what you would like to see, we are more than happy to listen, consider, and hopefully implement some of the things you'd like to see done. I'm ahead of time. Okay. All right, I'm going to tell you a little story. And that is, during COVID, I know COVID was something that everybody in this room was dealing with. When COVID hit, I had just moved to Virginia Beach. I didn't particularly have a lot of friends, and it was I lived by myself, it was a very lonely time. I suffered through this for about 6 months, and then I got tired of it. It's like, okay, there's gotta be something I can do. So I went online, and I discovered Zoom. Thank God for Zoom, because I joined groups, I joined especially Healing Circles Global, and it truly was healing. I know the power of community. The power of community pulled me through COVID. If it weren't for those people in the healing circle, I don't know what would have happened. I hit some pretty low points, as I'm sure many of you did. And that thought is what spurred me on to want to offer the church to the community. Because I know there's plenty of people out there that are still in COVID mode, that are still needing human contact, relationship. So as you know, I'm stepping into the position of spiritual leader today. Jimmy Carter died 3 weeks ago, but I loved him so much when he was president and after president. I thought he was such an enlightened being. No, he is such an enlightened being. And so I want to use some phrases from his inaugural speech. Because they are what is in my heart as well. You have given me a great responsibility to stay close to you, to be worthy of you, and to exemplify what you are. I will not be perfect, but with your help and the help of God, I trust and know we will work through any challenges. From here, we proceed from a starting point of love, not from an unthinking, unrealistic definition of love, but from the very real, matter-of-fact, practical, and sometimes difficult point of love. In the way forward, we will continue to learn together, laugh together, work together, pray together, confident that we will move and grow. And we will continue to be an even brighter beacon for each other, our community, and hopefully the world. And I thank you so much. I love you. I won't let you down. Thank you.
I'd like to play a song called Ice Crystals. I thought that was appropriate for the beautiful snow and the rain. So it's by Kevin Wilson.
Thank you, Paula. That was beautiful. So I told you that we're going to do a couple things different. One of those is we no longer have the basket for you to get up and put your gift in. We are going to be passing the bags. And we're going to start from the back. And Jane and Jude are going to start this. I want to say that many of you I know give digitally, you give monthly or quarterly or yearly. So even if you don't have money to put in the bag, put your hand over the bag and give it a little bump in abundance and say, thank you, God, for the abundance that I have and that the church is coming into. And let's say the prayer of plenty together.
In the infinity of this moment, all is perfect, whole, and complete. We acknowledge the one presence and one power expressing through us in Unity Williamsburg Spiritual Center every moment of every day. We open our hearts to the wisdom and intelligence that exists in the universe and in our minds, through which all resources and all healing comes. All doubt is released as we trust that our needs are being met in this moment. Divine order is unfolding for our highest good now, and so it is.
Amen. Wonderful. Sweet Spirit, we are grateful. We are grateful for the abundance that we have, and we see even more coming our way and to everyone in the congregation. And let's come to the center. No, we don't. We have announcements.
Well, we're going to do the song.
You have to sing.
Thank you. It'll get better.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are 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 so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
Wonderful talk, and I think all of us are really looking forward to seeing the resurgence of all these things you talked about.
Yeah.
Now that you're here,
Thank
it's
you.
like a new era is opening up for us.
Together.
Excellent.
Together.
Together.
Yeah.
How wonderful. So for the announcements for this week, next Sunday, Duncan and Ingrid Hamro will be our guest facilitators. And we're going to have a flip church where they kind of get the congregation involved other than the speaker. So you've been here before, so look forward to that. There's a board meeting today after we have our little coffee and cookies in the back. Starts at 12:30, and anybody who would like to attend is more than welcome to see how the church is being run. On Tuesday, the monthly Sound of Soul singing HU, the Hugh event, will be here at 7 p.m. On Wednesday, Jamie Fitzwater will lead the weekly yoga class from 7 to 8. And on Saturday, there's going to be a healing sound bath from 11 to 12, which Candace is going to run. And also on Saturday after her, Daryl Key will lead the weekly meditation class from 1 to 2. On Saturday, February 1st, from 11 to 12, Reverend Denise Creech, who's our former minister, and Candace will head the Celtic celebration, and I can't pronounce that word.
Celtic.
And Imbolc.
No, I mean.
Oh, Imbolc. Imbolc.
Imbolc,
Imbolc.
okay.
It's okay.
Preparing for the new cycle of life. That's on Saturday, February 1st. And would you like to talk about the new meditation class that's going to start up?
Sure. So, just like Kanda had mentioned about the group that Duncan and Ingrid had facilitated that just completed, there's going to be a mindful meditation group that's going to be started. That is something that would be helpful if you would sign up before. There are flyers on the back stand over there if you're interested in it, but it is a Buddhist meditation group and it's a reflective group. There'll be some journaling involved. So if you were able to be a part of the first group that they ran, or you were interested in that group and weren't able to make it, just highly encourage you to join that group. And the schedule and timing of that is going to be on the flyer. There are just a couple more things. We have the annual congregational meeting after service next week, and we'll go over basically do a review of last year and then plans moving forward. We're going to try to keep that brief so that we can get back to fellowship. There's another thing. I talked to Elizabeth, our cleaning lady, this week. You may have read in our newsletter, her husband Adam was, can you mute that? Her husband, Adam, was diagnosed with a very aggressive brain cancer. And so they were going this week to UVA and to Duke to try to research some additional care options for him. So Elizabeth wanted me to share with everyone just how grateful she is for our prayers, and if we can continue to hold her and Adam in prayer for his care and also his caregivers, that they just are able to surround them with love and all of the support that they need. And I think that's it. Thank you, Bob.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and one thing, know that Duncan and Ingrid's healing
Stand up,
prayer
please,
is.
stand up. Stand up, stand up.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. The healing prayer will be a series, I think, of 5 or 6 weeks. It's not open-ended. We're not going to be doing this for a whole year kind of thing. It's limited. Thursday nights, 7 o'clock here, right? And very, very interesting, very enlightening.
It's really more on meditation, not necessarily Buddhism.
It's more on meditation than on Buddhism.
So that's part of it.
Although that's part of it. Okay, there you go.
Any
Oh,
more
and,
announcements from the congregation?
Paulette?
Yeah.
You want to finish something?
Oh, no, Paulette.
I have an ad. I'm playing in a concert on Saturday with a bunch of other music teachers, the Williamsburg area music teachers. And we're having a concert to raise funds for grants and aids. Can't hear you.
It's okay.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Keep going, Paulette.
Can you turn hers up a little bit, Christopher?
There's gotta be replaced, I think her battery's dying.
Oh,
Okay.
That's the loud status.
So if you feel like you want to come and just hear some fun music, it's a bunch of music teachers, I'm one of them, but there's a bunch of other people singing and playing classical music and folk music and jazz, and if you feel the urge, you can donate to the grants and aids, because it helps music students in their endeavors.
where,
We're at Williamsburg Baptist,
Williamsburg Baptist,
right, 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
on Saturday the 23rd.
Saturday.
Thank you.
Cool.
Any more announcements? Go on.
A few short announcements. First of all, a letter from Fish with a thank you for all the bags and the food we delivered them. I think last year they helped 966 households. So the letter will be on the information board. What you can find on the information board too is a monthly overview of our finances, which I made prepare for the board. And we're doing better. So I'll announce that next week during the congregational meeting, a little video, because I will be there. I prepared you a text statement for 2024, at least for the ones who asked me to record it the last 52 weeks in 2024. So this is a letter for your IRS. And Jane, I think this is the box for the suggestions.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Okay, great box. So Dee will make a little hole in it, and next week we'll be there. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
We found
A man for all seasons. Any more announcements? No, Jude is our chaplain today in the back, and if anybody would like to have a personal prayer with her, she'll be in that corner back there, and as always, our prayers are held in strict confidentiality. Okay, can we make a big circle, please?
Okay, hang on. What? Can I explain this?
What?
Can you explain that circle?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to do something else that's different.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we
It's
changed.
okay.
And the reason being that flu, RSV, COVID are increasing in our area. So we want to keep everybody healthy and happy. So we're going to ask that you stay in your seat and sing a peace song to each other. You know, turn around and look at each other, make that eye connection, but just, we're not going to hold hands and we're not going to come to the center.
And this will just be for a few weeks until we're keeping an eye on the health department, until those numbers start coming down. We're kind of at a peak right now, and so we expect this to be through in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be back to the center here soon.
Okay, so let's stand.
Okay. We want you in the middle.
Oh, okay, I'll come down.
Just stand right there.
I can. Okay,
Stand right there.
okay, good.
Okay.
6 feet.
It's
Yes.
We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, we behold the Christ in you. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Fellowship and coffee and whatever else we've got.